Hi there, welcome to Nebby Invest. Now, it's been just over 1 week since I did my last Zip update, but a lot has been happening since then. In particular, the share price has become extremely volatile. In fact, for some shareholders, it's probably been quite nerve-wracking to see the share price go wildly up and down in the 1 day or every few days. In a way, Zip has become a day trader's plaything because they desire volatility. Also look at some bits of news about Zip over the past week or so. Not significant news, but news that I will look at. And today, I think a bit of news that wasn't really directly impacting Zip did have a bit of a say on the share price movements today, and I'll talk about that very briefly. But first, before I get into the share price movements, I want to talk about a bit of news that has flowed through in regards to Zip over the past week. So on the 16th of February, Zip did release 2 announcements to the market. Now, the first announcement was in respect to the half-year results date. They're going to release those half-year results on the 25th of February. So I'll be looking forward to that as a shareholder, and I do think it's going to be quite positive. The second announcement was in regards to an ASX price query. So an ASX price query is given to a company when the share price has increased quite substantially on high volume. Now, the Zip share price had increased from $12.97 to $14.46, and the ASX wanted to know why. And I think Zip's response was perfect because this was a nonsensical, ridiculous ASX price query from the ASX. So Zip's response mentioned 2 reasons why the share price was increasing. The first response there was a lot of positive sentiment in the buy now, pay later segment. And number 2 reason was they released a very positive announcement on January the 20th or 21st, and the market was still digesting that. And you can see that in the previous 20 days trading, there's been a lot of updates, a lot of green days, and I'll show you that in the next slide, just why this ASX price query was absolutely ridiculous. Now, understand the whole point of an ASX price query. The ASX wants to make sure when they see a company's share price increasing on significant volume, when there's been no announcement to the market, they want to ensure that information hasn't been leaked to the general market and someone is hopping on that, and in a way they're trying to stop insider trading. But there is a reason why this price query to Zip was really ridiculous. So this is the trading data for Zip going back to the 21st of January all the way to 16th of February, the day of the ASX price query. So on the 21st of January, they released that really positive announcement to the market. Share price increased 23% on that day with volume at 44 million. On subsequent days since then, we've seen some significant updates in the meantime. In fact, on the 8th of February, 10th of February, 15th of February, we've seen over 10% increase in the share price on significant volume. So there is no reason why the 16th of February trading was any different than what we saw in the previous few days. So this is why this was a ridiculous query, because this trading on that day was not out of the normal when you compare it to previous days. So this is the updated daily chart for Zip, and you can see the breakout day, which is the 21st of January, when the company released the very positive announcement to the market, and we've just seen the share price go up ever since then. Fair bit of volatility in the past week, especially with that big red day, which would have been on Wednesday. That could have freaked out quite a few holders, but the uptrend is still intact. I got a little bit concerned on Thursday, the 11th of February. We did see a gravestone doji on that day, which is typically a very bearish 1-day candlestick. And you can see a gravestone doji just means when you look at the open, close, high and low, the high of the day is significantly higher than the close of the day, and you get that really large tail to the upside. And what that's showing is that there's a lot of selling during the day, a lot of selling pressure, and that selling pressure could last in the next few days. In this case for Zip, it didn't, and then we saw a massive breakout on the Monday, the 15th of February. So I was a little bit concerned when I saw that gravestone doji, but my concerns were allayed when I looked at the 15-minute chart. You can see a lot more subtleties in the trading when you look at the 15-minute chart of a company. So in this chart, I'm looking at the 15-minute chart to the end of trading on the 16th of February, and this includes a gravestone doji day. So whenever I see a candlestick that does concern me, I like to then hone in on the day of trading and look at the 15-minute chart to see if I'm missing anything. And when you hone in, you zoom in to the day's trading, you can see some very important factors. So the peak of the day, the high of the day, was fairly early on. But then we saw some selling. So we saw the peak, some selling came in, but the selling subsided fairly quickly. And then we formed a consolidation base during the rest of the day, and that lasted into the 12th of February. Now, a consolidation base is very, well, it could be very powerful because it's like the share price is taking a breather. So what I like to do at that point is to see if there's a bit of a breakout to the upside. And whenever you see that breakout to the upside, which we did see on the 15th of February, that's when you buy in, because you could actually see the opposite. You'd see a breakout to the downside. So whenever you sort of wait for a confirmation of a breakout, and we saw that on the 15th of February, and then the share price went from about $12 to $14 in less than 1 day of trading. So this is the latest 15-minute chart. So it goes from the 11th of February to the end of trading on the 19th of February. And it's a very interesting chart that does show you the power of sentiment. Now, sentiment is the driving force of the movement of share price in the short term, because since there is no news flow, the only thing that can move the share price is short-term sentiment. You can definitely see that in the share price movement of Zip over the past 5 or 6 days. So I've included the Gravestone Doji Day on the 11th of February, the breakout day on the 15th of February. And then if you go to the 16th of February, which was Tuesday, the share price reached a peak of about $14.20 or so. And then at the start of trading on Wednesday, the 17th of February, we saw a massive sell-off. And the share price took a tumble from something like $13.80 or near $14 all the way down to about $11.50. Now, I've drawn 2 parallel brown lines, horizontal brown lines. Now, those 2 brown lines are support levels. And the first brown line, the top brown line, is drawn at the previous high on the 11th of February, so that is support. And the support below that was the base of the consolidation period on the 11th and 12th of February. Now, support levels are very powerful. So you can see when the share price reached that support on the 17th of February, it bounced off it quite powerfully on fairly high volume as well. The share price then went sideways during the rest of that day, but then we saw some large selling again at the open on the 18th of February. Again, there is that saying, amateurs open the market, professionals close it. So this would, based off that saying, would suggest that amateurs were selling at the open of trading on both the 17th and 18th of February. But the share price got as low as $10.50 on that day, which was right on support of that consolidation base we saw on the 11th and 12th. And then it rebounded very powerfully on high volume. And the share price went from $10.50 all the way up to past $12 in a very short period of time. And ever since then, the share price has been sort of going sideways and up a little bit today. So I think the share price today on the 19th of February did rise about 4%. And the main reason I think it did rise 4% today was that Morgan Stanley did have release an updated price target for Afterpay. I think that price target now is up to $170. So I think that could have had a bit of effect on the Zip share price today. But anyway, looks fairly bullish now in the short term. So it's gone back to a bit of an uptrend. I think all that selling we saw on the 17th and 18th of February have been outed. So all those negative sellers or negative holders have been outed of the market. And I think we might be seeing a new bit of a short-term uptrend develop from here on in. But it's very important to see what happens the first day of trading on Monday next week, which would have been the 22nd of February. So that's all for this video of Zip. Hope you've enjoyed it. Now, I'm doing these videos for educational, entertainment, and research purposes. Hopefully, maybe I've inspired you to do more research on Zip if you're not a shareholder. And just because I'm a shareholder doesn't mean you have to be. Find your own light, find the sort of company that works for your investing strategy, style, or even your lifestyle, that sort of thing. And I'm not a financial advisor, so if you do need to seek financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified. I am not qualified. But that's all for this video. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.